What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Top Rope, Off the Mic Sports Network. So we have some more information on what is going on with Adam Cole. Um, Obviously, just a tragic and unfortunate situation. That honestly, listen, I get why they put him out there. It was a big show. He may never come back again, and they felt, and it happened the day of. So they were like, yeah, let's give him some time. And part of this, I think, is like, hey, we want to run this a little bit longer than we should. Um, I mean, but at the same time, I think Adam Cole earned the right to go out there considering what he has meant to wrestling and what he has meant to AEW. He had the right to go out there and have his own speech before the TNT title match to kind of clarify what was going on with him. It just put a real damper on this show for a little while, which, there was no right way to really do this situation either way. But the crowd was definitely out of it for that TNT championship match. I forgot what also followed it, but the crowd was out of it for a little bit because they were bummed out because Adam Cole is genuinely a well-liked person. But I've already done a video in terms of after Kyle Fletcher nearly killed him with the power bomb to the apron that missed and he basically almost hit the concrete. Apparently it looks like, the confirmed reports are from Fightful and PW Insider that Adam Cole has a concussion. I believe this is his third on record in 3 years. And you guys know this, who follow my sports content. I was lobbying for Tua Tagovailoa with a similar amount of concussions for the Miami Dolphins to never play again. Concussions are no joke. I don't know where this happened. Some people are speculating it was a lariat. It was an inside-out lariat that Adam Cole landed wrong on his head in the match on Collision. Which is obviously unfortunate. But I need to say something about Adam Cole here. I don't know him personally. I know a lot of people who do know him personally, and they say he's one of the great individuals in the industry. And this guy, when he was in NXT, was presented like a star, and a lot of people thought he was destined for great things. Vince McMahon didn't really see it in him. So Adam Cole in 2021 got out of WWE, did it the right way, didn't do anything malicious or anything, ran his contract out. Hell, he extended his contract by a month to finish up his storyline with Kyle O'Reilly, who ironically ended up in AEW anyway. But they finished up their storyline at a big show. I think it was TakeOver 36 back in 2021. I think that was the last known black and gold show in that iteration from a premium live event perspective. That was the last real takeover, I guess you could say. And so he had the great rollout at All Out 2021, where him and Bryan Danielson debuted in that company in the span of 5 minutes, which is one of the great endings in wrestling pay-per-view history. And this guy has just been as snake bitten as any professional wrestler that I have ever seen. And specifically in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, I've never seen a wrestler with this bad of luck, because he had multiple concussions that he dealt with in 2022. He comes back in 2023, has the big rollout storyline, the heroic comeback. I was in the building at Dynamite in LA in January of 2023. It was a legitimate shocking moment to see him come back. He had like some of the storylines that he did, like, the stuff with Chris Jericho wasn't great. The Brochacho stuff was great with MJF. They started the Devil storyline, and then unfortunately, obviously, a Grand Slam in 2023. That was really where everything got taken off the sidewall, with him jumping off the ramp and basically having his ankle explode. And he didn't come back fully until Wrestle Dream last year. Like, he came back to play out a little bit of the storyline and get MJF a little bit of payback, or at Double or Nothing last year, but he wasn't fully back, and it just hasn't felt the same. He got the TNT title earlier this year. It wasn't a great run. He wasn't presented in a particularly good light. It was kind of a dumb. The Paragon became like a really listen. I like Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. It just became a really, the booking didn't do them very well. I just don't think a lot of the momentum was there, and so he was going to probably lose the TNT title to Kyle O'Reilly in this match at All In Texas, and then he wakes up Saturday morning. And he goes to Tony Khan and says, hey, look, I think I'm having concussion symptoms. And it sucks, man. It really sucks, because this is a good guy. He's played a bad guy a lot of his career, but everybody that you talk to in the industry, even fans who connect with him through his Twitch channel and some of the other stuff he does outside of wrestling, this is one of the good guys in wrestling. There were people in WWE, Kevin Owens, who's worked with him there were so many people with the outpouring of support for Adam Cole. This spans beyond AEW because that guy is as universal. It's the same thing that happened with Big E. Like, these guys are universally respected in an industry where sometimes it is very hard to, like, hell, I've talked about it in AEW. They've had backstage fighting. Adam Cole is a unifier. And it sucks that had to happen. Hell, his ex, Britt Baker, and there's nothing, and by all accounts, there is nothing malicious that happened in that relationship. Britt Baker's wishing him well. It's just, it sucks that on 2 days away from a big stage match, that granted because let's get real, he main evented the first All In. He missed last year's All In. This was going to be a big spot for him, and he was going to probably put over one of the next stars in the company in Kyle Fletcher. And he didn't get the opportunity to do that. And I think that's the part, knowing what I know about Adam Cole, I think that obviously he hates not being able to do it for the fans, but I think knowing the type of professional that he is, the part that he hated the most about that whole situation was that he wasn't able to put over a new talent. Because that's what because Adam Cole is about the business first and foremost. Like I said, he stayed an extra amount of time in NXT 4 years ago to put over Kyle O'Reilly in their feud. This was going to be about Kyle Fletcher. And I understand why they did the feel-good moment, because they were really in an impossible situation. That's why they gave it to Dustin Rhodes, so I'm not going to shit all over that situation. But this sucks. There's no other way to put this around it. And like I know a lot of people, Adam Cole may not be for them, thinking he's boring, or, some people knock on his physique or whatever. Listen, this guy's a great professional wrestler, and he has been universally respected throughout the industry, going back to his days in Ring of Honor for over a decade. And he had an incredible run in NXT. A lot of people thought he was going to be a big fixture on the main roster. But ever since he went to AEW, and it's a lot of bad luck, I'm not going to shit on Tony Khan and the lack of safety, although there was some really unfortunate maneuvers that happened that could have easily been prevented. This one that got him a concussion was not Adam. Like, this was just a freak accident. It just happens. Sometimes you sell and sometimes you land awkwardly. Like we saw it with Seth Rollins. He did a new move he's done 1,000 times, and he may have torn his knee up. It just happens. So, I just hate it for this guy, because above all else, this isn't even really about wrestling so much anymore. This is about something that this guy loves, and he may not be able to do it ever again. Like I said, concussions are no joke. My biggest concern here was that it might be a life-threatening illness. It's not. It is a concussion, which, is serious. Like, if you fuck around, that could threaten your life. I was fearing a neck issue with like they had with Kevin Owens. It sucks that Kevin Owens and Adam Cole, two of the universally beloved individuals in this industry, who ironically work together a lot on the independent scene, we may never see either one of them in a professional wrestling ring again. It's almost ironic that those speeches felt almost entirely the same. Although Kevin's was, he had to break character because he was a heel. Adam Cole, like, obviously he was a babyface, so it was easier. And, it really just, it was heartbreaking. There's no other way to put it out there. So, hope he gets well. Hopefully we get to see him in a professional wrestling ring again. If not, I just hope he has a long and healthy life. A long and healthy life in just any whatever he wants to do. If he wants to go back into doing video games on his Twitch channel, whatever. It doesn't have to be in a professional wrestling ring. Concussions are no joke. Adam, I hope you get well, my friend. And like I said, if I ever get the opportunity to meet you, I hope I do, because you, from everything that I have heard from people that know you personally in the industry, from fans who have interacted with you, they say you're about as good of a model citizen as there is in an industry where there are some bad people. So, one of the good ones. Hope you get back soon. Hope you get well, my friend. See you. And thanks, everybody, for watching. Wish Adam Cole well. Like I said, I think the guy deserves it. Anyway, thanks so much. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.